check.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Don't know my music.
What are you doing? Get out of my lane!
Straight away you can see that this particular instance, the driver is wandered off to the left of the road. Now maybe complacency, get my teeth in, complacency to the lanes for the traffic. If you go back a bit, this is in Los Angeles, I'm not sure about the rules over there, but if you go back a little bit further, where they're going, and
What are you?
Yeah, there we are. So you've got your right-hand side lanes here. I think they must have thought they were already in this lane here and have started to sort of line up with it and have squished him out onto this lane thinking it's just a normal forward lane, which it isn't. And these lines are incredibly dangerous to riders, specifically in the wet. They're actually quite slippery. But as you can see, he's been threatened.
Get out of my lane!
His lane's been threatened, so he's told him to move out the way, which is fine. Obviously, the situation is resolved, and the person seems he's done something wrong has taken off without having to engage with anybody. So that's good. It worked out quite well, even though it was a bad situation. Oh, he pulled up hard. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what's happened here. Now, by the look of it, it seems that, you look at the car's way over the carriageway. Now, in Australia, carriageways, those lines you've got across these where you're supposed to stop behind before the lights, not over it or in the walkway in this case where he is, which of course he's been pushed or punted over. I think what's happened here, and I'm pretty sure in retrospect, is he's decided to try and go through the yellow or orange lights. So I'm not sure about where that is. We've got red, orange, then green. So you get a orange light before it goes red. And of course, red light, you've got to stop. So he's gotten to a certain point and thought, well, it's orange. I reckon I'll make this. And I realised at the last minute he couldn't. And he's pulled the brakes up hard. Now, this is what happened in a car as well, as you know. People get rear-ended all the time because cars just pull up really hard. And I believe probably the car behind may have thought he could make the distance as well. And it's just a combination of the two. There's neither of them at fault here. I think they both are exempt of any kind of fault. But let's go back a little bit. We'll have a look at how far back he was, even though the camera perspective does make it look a bit further. Well, let's stop it when it goes orange and see how far back he actually is. So there we are. So it's a little bit further back than that, but it's already orange, ready to go to red. Now I think there's only like a 2-second rule between orange and red, and he's a long way back from this particular site, from the carriageway. The carriageway is actually not too far away at this point in time. But it is fair way. If you look at it, those cabinets on the side here, they're going to be a couple of metres long. So he's got quite a few metres there between that and that bin or whatever that thing is. A couple of car lengths there, at least 3 car lengths, and he's already started to realise he needs to either go through this or stop. He's got to this point and thought, well, hang on, it's been like that for a while now. I think it's going to go red now. It's still orange. And he probably would have been all right if he kept going. Possibly, I don't know. But he's already at the carriageway, so he should have already stopped here. He's decided to pull up really hard. The bike's got ABS, obviously, because it's one of the newer ones, and the car's gone behind him. So, a bit of a shock for the driver, a bit of a shock for the rider. The rider seems okay. The driver's really, obviously, in a bit of shock there, holding his head. I can't believe he's done this. He might be a rider himself. Obviously, he may be a little bit more distraught for the poor bugger. So in this instance, I think the best option is to get the bike off the road. That's what he's doing. I've done this actually, push the bike off in 6th, like being so shocked. So the guys, the Celtics top guy there's worried about him, and rightly so. Alright, so this guy's now been in a blind spot for a good part of 2 seconds. You're either going to be going ahead of this car in front of you or you're going to be hanging back. It looks like even maybe the actual lanes are starting to disperse, which, not disperse, but to contract, so you'll only have 2 lanes instead of 3. Or you might even be in a parking area where you see the van's starting to pull out. So the car on the right side, as you can see, also has tinted windows in Greece, this is. They may have very, very, very dark legal tint. The guy in the car is going to look through this mirror here, see if anyone's down the side. He's not going to be able to see this very well. He might see a hand. Most of the people couldn't be bothered looking over their shoulder this far to look through the back of the window here. and a bit of complacency as well. That's all good. But bottom line is the bike rider, survivability is key. Survivability in this instance, and you'll be taught this, or I got taught this many years ago when we had other bike riders follow us for our L plates, never to sit either in the sun on the left side or even in the blind spot at any time possible. Make sure there's always 2 mirrors available for them to see you in, not just one. So, because in this instance, it's only going to be one, it's only going to be just, and it's in a blind spot. So let's see what happens in this one. I'd say it's going to pull over to this lane, which is quite predictable, as you can see, because of the fact that it's... no, it's not going to be going... I'm not sure what that van's doing. He's sort of in the middle of the road there, so it's a bit confusing for both of them. And yeah, it did turn into a 2-lane. As you can see, there's a turn right lane there. And he's in the middle, so he's cutting traffic. Just wanted to have a word to him about it. And he's apologised and all is good. That's great. No one's jumped on their high horse there. That's fantastic. Letting off a bit of steam there. Giving it a bit of a rev. So he's a bigger bike, but I'm used to. Alright, yeah, so yeah, be very aware of other cars coming across when they think that they're going to make it. That's a bit unavoidable. That one is very lucky.
Wait.
Alright, again, the same rule applies. In this instance, judging by that police vehicle or emergency vehicle, it's in the UK. The person in the car has only one mirror to look, well actually 2 mirrors to look at. In this instance, you would look in your middle mirror and you would look on your left mirror to make sure that the people in the traffic on the left side and the people behind you are out the way. They're not going to think someone's on their right side unless somebody's standing there, and in that case they can step out the way. Motorbike riders should never sit right over to the right side of the car because they cannot see them in any way. And you know, I'm a car driver too, truck driver. I can tell that this poor person has obviously not realised that there's a bike down her right side because she can't see it unless she looks in that mirror on the right side. But who's going to predict there's going to be something there? Yes, you should look at every mirror. I'm not against all that, but we're talking about everyday life here. We're not talking about getting our L's or our P's and being scrutinised by every mirror and safety procedure and stuff. So,
What the hell? You nearly hit me.
so she's
I said I'm sorry.
she's
Can I move out the way?
Yeah, I know
explaining
that, but
the
did you
fact
see
that
me
she's
here?
sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Not hard to accept an apology, honestly. Even if the adrenaline's going, everyone has a hard day or bad days. But it didn't sound like he could do that. That's incredibly dangerous, and that could happen at any time as well. And again, being vigilant of the fact that that car's moving forward was this guy's safety warning, and he read it very well. In this instance, saved running into the car and possibly, you know, endangering himself.
Any-
Y'all good, bro?
Huh?
You good?
Yeah, I think
Now this
so.
guy thinks obviously realised that he's
Any
done something
damage to
wrong
your
as well.
car
He's
or-
come down to make sure he's okay, because that would be quite shocking. He would know that.
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, it just scared me a
So
little
he's on
bit.
a
I mean,
Ninja
it
400,
happens,
so it's a
it's
pretty
dark
good bike
outside
too.
and
It's a
stuff,
pretty
so-
fast one. Very good brakes on it, but it is in the
Yeah,
wet by the look of it.
Thanks for,
by
you
the
know, I don't know if you
shine on
left
his
her. I didn't
camera.
mean,
I was actually delivering food here.
okay.
A little scary for both.
Any information?
Just in case, I guess. Well, thank you though. I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
they
you know,
even
mad
get
or
each
anything,
other's
you know, it
information.
happens.
Good on them.
But
Not that any of them will probably act on it.
You're okay.
yeah, no,
But,
totally fine. You know, I'm not gonna like scream at you or anything. It happens, you know.
Alright.
Well, thank you though. I appreciate
Most bike
it.
riders need to take a bit of a lesson from this fella. I actually thought that bike on the right side then fell off, but he's coming down from a wheelie, I think.
Well, thank you though.
Let's have a look
I
at it again real
appreciate
quick.
it.
Yeah, because of his jacket flying up. That's probably what I was thinking there. Wearing the appropriate safety gear as usual. So here's some bikes all over the road. Any lane they want to, cutting all over the place. Different kinds of bikes too. I can see 2 Harleys there on the right side. Looks like there's a Yamaha there. A couple of Hondas as well. Oh, it looks like that Up car is following one particular bike. He's obviously done something wrong. What I see in this instance is that the problem which occurs emergency-wise. So this road now has become a non-emergency vehicle road because of all these bikes everywhere, anywhere they want to. Now, an emergency vehicle would be travelling down this road over the speed limit because that's their prerogative to get someone to an emergency situation as quick as they can. They'll get on the road, they'll see all these bikes here, and there's no way that they can keep the same velocity. They'll think that the bike's going to pull over at any time they want to, because they're probably not even checking their mirrors half the time, or if they are, they're looking for bikes and nothing else and probably wouldn't even realise it. Yes, they probably would hear the sirens and stuff like that, but some of these guys, and I know of a few groups that are like this, have earphones in and they're going flat out as well, and they've got the old adrenaline going. Yeah, one would hope that they can hear them coming, but you know, ambulance drivers, they cannot presume that you can hear them. They only can presume the worst, and if they pull out in front of them, the poor person that's had a cardiac arrest that's in the back of a van going to the hospital cannot get to where he needs to get the right treatment, or even just a normal driver can't get to where they're going to at a normal speed on this particular road. So it's a bad idea to do this sort of thing, honestly. And this guy on the right side here just decided to pull a mono up behind two what looks like over $20,000 bikes behind him. They're both Harleys. And if he loses it, he's going to wipe out their bikes. I'm not sure how he would explain that to any kind of insurance company. But I'm sure the guys that are riding, two more Harleys on the right side again. Some nice new ones there. They're worth 30,000 plus easy. So here we are. The police have now cordoned off the road to try and stop these guys. And to maybe even tell them what's going on, but this one won't get off, so he's pulled him off the bike. Here's another one coming over. No, he's going to get past him. And they've gotten away with it, pretty much. But good on you guys, you've yeah, pretty much upset the cycle of life. Or anybody trying to come along. And you put an interesting name out there for, or a bad name out for other riders. Well, this one's in Australia, I can hear his accent. So he's been cut off, this bike rider, by the look of it, so he stopped to exchange words with him. This bike rider looks like he is either turning around, no, he's going onto the medium strip, fantastic idea, get it off the road. Out the way. He's coming back to say, look, you know, move on, I've got a camera, come on. The bike in the middle of the road needs to get off there, because all it needs to have, and this has happened a few times on some of the other accident videos I've watched, where the poor, somebody in their cars reached down to change the channel on the radio and not looked up, and there's a bike stopped in the middle of the road. You know, it's like dangerous to sit in the middle of the road like that.
He's behind me, you go in between both of us.
Yeah, because I was really cautious of you. That's why I
Use your mirrors before you kill someone, mate.
was watching you.
Moron.
Very good for an ill rider. I'm impressed. This guy.
No, mate, no, you need to listen.
He's got off the road and he's told him.
I saw
They're all got off the road now, which is good.
Straight into me.
I didn't see you.
Talking to each other.
Yeah,
You can kill me, mate. I wasn't even in the...
Something's really agitated the guy on the high vis though, or the yellow top there.
It doesn't matter what you see.
More than just the road, by the look of
It
that.
doesn't mean you're going to the next lane.
agree, I'm
Indicate, check your mirrors, go across.
I got a
I
little
don't care
cautious.
how sorry you are, man. I'm going straight to the police, man. You're being reported. That's a joke. I could have died, mate.
I'm sorry about that, but I
not
honestly,
sorry, mate.
I didn't
You're
see
not.
the rear because I was little cautious about this guy.
I
I saw
understand,
him
mate.
coming in front of me.
Mate,
so
I
got
indicated, I had checked everything.
Yeah,
I went around you
because
safely.
I saw his L plate, I got a little cautious. That's why. Otherwise,
No,
I didn't see you.
I understand.
I
No, it does
honestly-
nothing to do with ill
You're
plates.
on the phone, mate.
No, I
Yes,
was just
you were. You
talking to
didn't hear me revving.
There we
at
go.
the
So
window,
it's come
mate.
to fruition. He's talking about being on the phone while he's driving as well now.
but I was still looking.
So if he's
Man, I was sitting
If he's
this
telling the
far
truth
from
there,
your
then
mirror, and
yeah,
you didn't know
complacency
I was
with.
riding next to you for like 100 minutes.
I've got no tolerance at all with
What
someone
are
on
you
the
doing,
phone
man?
while you're
Where's
riding.
your license?
I've lost
Don't
friends.
drive,
Their
don't
lives
drive, mate.
have been lost by people on the phone.
You're lucky, man. I'm not
I've come
looking
close to
at
nearly
it.
killing both myself and the wife from somebody being on the phone
Oh.
in a car. So guess what this guy's done? And this is in Australia too. So perfect example. This is a built-up area. You can see there's houses everywhere. There's not even a street sign here. It's fairly new by the look of it. or it's just not a very high-end area. But my point is, there's build-up traffic. It's not a main road. There's no other cars anywhere. It's just cars parked in their driveways and so forth. So in Australian rules, on the road or road rules is in a build-up area at any time, it's 50 kilometres an hour. So that's like about 35, I think it is in the US, in miles, which is reasonably slow. So that things like this doesn't happen or don't happen. We'll get my grammar right. It could be as easily as somebody actually playing tennis on their front lawn or cricket in the summertime for someone to run out the road to grab something and bang, like you just don't have the time to pull up. Let's have a look how fast this guy's going on a replay.
I pulled you out of the car and decked you, man. Oh.
Yeah, he's going that quick. He's had to slow the camera down to show you the guy opening the door. I'm pretty sure he's doing more than 50 there. Look, I'm not going to say it's the rider's fault or the car driver's fault. Bottom line is I can see observably he's going too quick for the neighbourhood. And it's easy to do on a bike like this. It's a nice bright green Ninja by the look of it.
Here, okay? You didn't look. It's on camera, and I've got your number plate, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so just a warning. Keep an eye out next time, okay? Because I'm the one who gets f***ed up, not you.
Well,
I'm on a motorbike.
You're not
okay?
a policeman. You're a motorbike
All right,
rider.
just keep an eye out, yeah?
So you can't give him warnings. You can advise him. You can keep him, on advisory to make sure that he doesn't do that sort of thing all the time on his street. But adrenaline again, I think. Or he might be an off duty cop. Who knows? Just the way he spoke then. But I think the bottom line there is that he was going pretty quick, and speed kills. Bottom line. On a bike is very hard to keep on top of, even with a Harley like mine. It's a fairly large one. I look down and all of a sudden you're already at 60 and he should be doing 50. And I've been done by it. We're not going to call the kettle black here. I've been done for doing 60 in the 50 zone. Had a fine, realised I did everything wrong, moved on. It's as simple as it gets. So yeah, just got to be careful with that sort of thing. Cars a little close to the middle of the road there. I think he's actually over the middle of the road when he pulled out. He's coming from this petrol station. He's coming out, or gas station. He's in the middle of the road here. He's back over by the time he gets through there. So that's pretty close because the camera is usually showing you a bit further down the road. It doesn't look as close when you look through the camera. Really interesting. Let's get really. I think he might have flipped him off or did something about having a go at being in the middle of the road, I think.
What's up? I can't hear you. What's up? Was that you that is trying to pull out my lane and hit me?
Honda CBR 500R. And my son has this bike. He's got a black version of it.
Say hi to YouTube, buddy.
2016.
Look it up. You're gonna be on it tomorrow.
Excuse me, I've ridden it. It feels like it's riding a little tricycle compared to what I'm used to. Scary stuff.
Good. What's your name, buddy? You want to tell us your name? Huh?
I was a bit upset with him over the wrong side of the road when he first pulled out, which he shouldn't have done, honestly. I mean, it's quite dangerous to do that.
Good. Remember that. Moto Madness.
Nothing happened, which is good.
M-O-T-O Madness. You on Moto Madness. Yeah. Let me go ahead and pull up so you get your plate. I want your plate because we're giving this to the cops too. Yeah. You good, buddy? Go ahead, pull up. I want to see your plate. Go ahead, pull up. I want to see your plate. Come on, big guy. Wait, I thought I was the guy who was wrong. Let me see your plate if I'm the guy who's wrong. That's right, yeah. You little little piece.
Use is not a good idea. Tensions run high, adrenaline rushes. He's gotten a little bit upset and he's called him certain names. He doesn't need to do that. He does have to tell him or make an example of the fact that he was in the middle of the road, but going on about it's probably a little too far.
Get out!
So he's got to get off his bike in the middle of the road to tell him to get. Apparently that's his prerogative. I don't know why. Girlfriends are separately getting gas. Yeah, okay. I wonder whether this is going to be, this is an instance where, and I've come across this before with riding with quite a number of groups, when you pull up to an Australian petrol bowser, you can actually have two bikes close to it. You can pump up 2 or 3 bikes at a time with the same nozzle. And with some of the guys you ride with, they'll go, okay, well, I'll get this round. It's like being at the pub, you know, round of drinks or whatever, round of petrol, I'll grab all of the round of petrol. Next one, the next guy will do the whole round of petrol and so on. You know, it's just easier to get going straight away and have all of them filled up. But it certainly does put it certainly puts car drivers out a little bit, because they're used to car after car after car. And they don't want to sit there and watch people put gas in one after the other of 3 vehicles when they've got to wait to get their petrol. So sometimes it can be a little bit livid to them. A little annoying for them. Not sure about where he is. It sounds like it's an American accent. Those plates look American as well. What the little knobby thing is on the front of his car, like a detection device or something. In front of his Nissan. Okay, so this guy's a little volatile. He's got to show a few things. I don't think there's a lot of excitement in his life, maybe. I don't know. Strange.
Get the f out of here! Get the f out of here!
I don't think does he even have a car there pumping? I don't think he even has a car, because there's a lady at the back of that Nissan behind them. Unless he's the passenger. That's very wrong. Shouldn't do that. He's only provoking everybody else now. At this point in time, one of them should be ringing up the cops, I think. If he's this volatile, he can do it to anybody, really, isn't he? Again, also, you don't know what happened at the very start of this video. You know, he might have cut them off, or the bikes might have upset him in some way by being all over the road, and it's ended up here, you know. You never know what the full scope is of this one, so there's not much to learn from this. Outside of the fact that he's keeping his helmet on, which is great. Make sure you keep your helmet when you come across volatile people. Yeah, he's a bit uneasy. It's going on there. There's something to hide.
Get out! Get out!
Not sure what's going on there.
Get out!
This is obviously from another camera angle.
Get the out!
But nothing to learn there. How far are we off to finish it? We pretty much finished that one now. I don't think we need to go on with how bad this guy gets. Let's move over. So there we go. Hopefully it helps out a few people out there that are looking, if not already on their L plates or looking to ride as well. A few points there that might have made it a little bit easier for you. In perspective, obviously the blind spots. Always make sure that you're in clear vision of 2 mirrors, not 1. If possible at any time. It's not always a possibility, but if it is a possibility, make it a possibility. We want you to survive. We want more bikes on the road. And yes, since I was 16, right through to now I'm 50, there has been a lot more cars on the road, and there's a lot more complacency out there. So be safe. As we used to say, paint up, rubber down. Take it easy. We'll see you again another time. Thanks for tuning in. And if you like us, subscribe or even do us a like, and yeah, we'll catch you, hit the little bell. We'll catch you again sometime. Thank you.